welcome to this conversation of change where we have Saiful Islam, the CEO of Max TapWater. Saiful, prior to joining Max Social Enterprise, worked as the commercial director at Marie Stopes, Bangladesh. He brings 17 years of diversified leadership experience and expertise to Max TapWater. A very warm welcome, Saiful.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me in such a prestigious discussion session. I'm honored.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll jump right into it. We'd love to know what a typical day in the life of a CEO looks like, and if you can also describe what Max TapWater does.
Great. The morning begins with a cup of coffee to freshen our mind. At the same time, we have a strong urge or sense of urgency to bring the change in people's life. So we work for how we can bring safe water at people's home, and that's what Max TapWater do in a nutshell. But if I have to elaborate, Max TapWater is a household water supply, safe water supplier who actually do the borehole and extract the water with the pump, and then we reserve the water in the overhead reservoir, and that's how we connect with the pipe connection to the households. So the connections actually go to people's houses, kitchen, washroom, and basin, and that's how they can use the water within their home in the rural setting. That's what we have been doing in Max TapWater.
Amazing. So previously you have also worked in the health sector, creating primary health care in Bangladesh. What were the various challenges you came across, and how would you describe your journey from health and sustainability to a water activist?
Thanks. That's a important discussion and nice question to ask. So I worked in the primary healthcare sector in Bangladesh, but that primary health system had been driven by NGO. Now the issue with NGO is that they do not have the sustainability model. They want to implement the project only. Now I see the importance of make this work sustainable. Otherwise, when the project period ends, people will not get the proper service. Now the problem when you want to convert the NGO private health system to the sustainable health system, people do not want to pay for NGO services. But in contrast, people also do not get quality service in the rural setting. So we have to make a proper balance that the health system is there in people's doorstep at the rural setting, and make people understand value for what they are getting instead of what they are paying for. So that's what is the catch. Now from that health sector, I understood that hygiene and say preventive healthcare system actually comes with abundant safe water, because the disease, almost a lot of diseases start with say with the lack of water, the hygiene issues and so on. So that actually triggered me to go for a job. I would say go for a drive for a passion where I can work for water sector and work on supplying abundant safe water at people's home so that they can have a healthy lifestyle.
No, that's amazing. Getting to the root of it all.
Yes.
So your career journey has significantly involved working in field management. How beneficial do you believe this field will be in determining climate change solutions? Also, what is one advice you would give to someone who's looking to work in the water sector, since you also focus on recruiting talent for various roles in this space?
Yes, I worked extensively on the field management as well to implement, because thousands of bright ideas die because of poor execution. Now, I believe in strong execution and setting up governance system, while we develop a marketing system that actually resonate with people's, I mean, in particular, rural people's mindset. So that's how our total system is working. It actually validating the, though it's going top down, but also validating bottom level as well. So that's how we make sure that each and every bright ideas are properly executed, and we use that success as one step, and we go into the further next step. Now, if someone really is interested to come and work in water sector, my advice, or I mean, it's not advice, maybe I would say that person, that you have to consider this is not a job. You have to consider this is a passion you will be driving for. If you only think of it as a passion, only then you can make a visible difference. Otherwise, uh, a regular job will not bring you success in the water sector.
Thank you. Your organization strives to provide clean, affordable water available to everyone. Could you elaborate on the process of water acquiring and supplying? Also, how do you think climate change will impact water access to people in developing countries?
Um, yeah, thanks. As I said again earlier, but I will elaborate once again. So we do the borehole in a area where we have decided to build the water grid. So each water grid we cover has roughly 75 household. So we draw a map, and we draw the potential networking. We also, prior to build this grid, we talk with the um, potential client base whether they are interested. And when we confirm with the client base, the drawing and so on, then we do the borehole. Then we use the submersible pumps to acquire the groundwater. We store the water in the overhead reservoir. And from there, with the pipe networking, the water goes to people's house within that uh, map area. So if some other person outside of the map area also want the water, then we will have to um, find another potential map, and that's how this thing is working. We also do regular water quality testing with 7 parameters, um, uh, internationally compliant. For instance, we are maintaining WHO standard and as well as Bangladesh WASA standard. That's how we are ensuring the, safe water at people's home to be delivered in all our grids. For additional information, right at this moment we have connected more than 1,361 household. That is around 5,900 people. This year we are also working to build another 25 grids, which might be around say 1,250 connections more. So in total, we will be serving more than 10,000 person this year.
Amazing. Your organization was featured in UNDP's Youth Co-Lab for providing 3,900 users access to clean running water. Could you describe your experience at the 2022 summit and how it helped reach a wider audience?
Um, so in 2022 Youth Collab Summit, we were also asked to let know about our work, and that's how we we provided the information that's what we are doing, what's the background, and so on. So when we were featured in Youth Collab and UNDP with background backend by UNDP, that program actually that program was actually had wider coverage. We our information was disseminated digitally and virtually through Facebook and Instagram and so on. So people came to know about us. And also, followed up by that Youth Collab program, there was a feature done by the Business Standard newspaper. So that was also one of the most circulated video in the startup industry. That's how the donor, the stakeholder, supplier, potential audience, everyone came to know us. So I would say that was a good break for us, and that's a good highlighting program for us to let the bigger audience know about us.
No, wonderful. I think these platforms are really important to garner that sort of audience, right? That can at least know about the work that you're doing.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
So you have extensively worked in providing high quality groundwater through pipe network to the southern regions of Bangladesh. Could you throw light on the water and sanitation scenario along with the country's microfinance sector's role in dealing with the water crisis?
Microfinance sector in Bangladesh is are trying to get hold on supporting the clients who actually need for building infrastructure um, and so on. And in some cases, who are doing, say, small scale businesses, microfinance organizations are trying to fund them. So that's how they are doing their role actively to support people having the setup or infrastructure for having the water. For instance, say building a when you have a pipe water at the connection at home, then you to build a bathroom, to build a good kitchen, and so on. So microfinance organizations come to support the clients. But say in larger scale, it is yet yet to they make they yet to figure out how to finance in large scale for the big organization like us.
Okay. So on a more personal note, please, if you could share how you manage your work-life balance with such enormous responsibilities on your shoulders, and how do you unwind from work?
Yes. Thanks. I mean, so when you are working in a kind of a startup business and journey, it's a lot of work. So we work um, we make the works as like small projects, and that's how we finish it in time. We set up deadlines, and we have a good team. We have already developed a good team. That team is assigned with certain responsibilities to finish the work in time. When they are struggling, they say consult with say superior boss or maybe with me and so on. um, so we make sure that we are working hard in the weekdays, and in the weekends we do not want to take any work from the weekdays. So we believe to resolve any major work so that we do not have to firefight. So we try to avoid firefighting. For instance, in last year we built 20 grids, but those out of 20 grids, 3 grids turned out to be faulty. And we had to repair almost each and every month, couple of times. So we rather took a decision of do the major repair, so that, that major repair covers changing even the pipe networking and so on. So after doing that major repair work, we do not have to do those small repair work or corrections. That's how we avoid the firefighting. Um, and we try to enjoy our weekends. That's how we make it a good work-life balance.
Oh, wonderful. Would you like to share if you are reading or listening to anything with a larger audience? If there's any book you're reading or podcast you're listening to?
Right at this moment, I have been reading a book called A World of Three Zeros. Let me show the book. It's been gifted by Professor Yunus, Nobel laureate Professor Yunus. So how the small initiatives actually bring the changes in life. So he is the actually father of social business, and his work actually inspires me a lot. So rather than chasing for fun, why don't you chase for your work? Money will come automatically. So I also believe in that principle, and to my larger audience. So let's have a passion towards what we are doing. Let's do for the bigger good of the community. World will see you automatically. You don't have to highlight yourself.
No,
Thank
amazing.
you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, he's an inspiration to many in India as well. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. It was lovely talking to you and getting to know a little bit more about what Max TapWater does. And all the best for you, all your initiatives this year.